well.
Right.
Latam defenders do go back into this Grimstroke. So Marana Grimstroke again, just solid ways of jumping in. We'll have to see what else changes for their draft. Arkosh now have to think. What do they want for Gremlo? Do they go back to the DP? Do I want to play DP again? My answer would probably be no, but I have no free will. I am just forced to play. Remember yesterday when they told me to press Ravage, I press Ravage even though there's nothing. So
Okay.
I just follow orders, Mike.
Thank you for that, John. I mean, in all fairness, Gremlo was doing a pretty darn good job that game. I feel like that loss wasn't really on him at all. He was doing
No.
his job, as requested, I'm sure, by Arkosh, who
Ooh.
now go for an Earthshaker. Interesting. Earthshaker, pretty
Yeah.
powerful with the new shards. Mind you, it was nerfed recently, but it's still pretty darn good. I don't really see a particular reason why you go Shaker, but I suppose it's never really bad. Just another one of the supports that's always kind of good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Latam defenders had room to pick up a Shaker here. They already locked in their two supports. Perhaps they're looking for better lane control. We see Shaker blocks to get that first wave up against a tower and take control early on.
Right.
That could be just what Arkosh prioritizes in this case, thinking about what they want to combine it with on the off lane there for Gremlo. So still have to wait for that off lane flex. Latam defenders do go into the PA,
Okay.
which is an interesting one into the PL. So Battle Fury is going to be there. You have some way of cleaving into the illusions. At the same time, the PL will need an MKB at some point. If not, someone else will need to build, say, a Silver Edge or a Bloodtorn to deal with PA, but it's a back and forth one that's sort of dependent on item timings. The PA, if it does get a pretty good start here, can just overtake, and you do have this nice combo now of Blink in with the Inkswell and the Grimstroke. So there's some early aggression Latham defenders can get out. Arkosh will have to watch themselves with whatever they toss in here on the off lane.
Yeah, I think the PA is fine here, right? Because you really don't want to buy the MKB if you are Pale Horse this game. PL just really not one of the people that enjoys that at all. Like you said, you already have a lot of wave clear anyway, with the Mirana, the Tidehunter, the Grimstroke. You have plenty of ways of getting through the PL illusions this game. So just go the PL, Battle Fury, standard route, just win the game that way. You've already got some very easy targets in the form of that CM and Earthshaker to just blow up in one hit, assuming you can get a nice lucky crit. And Arkosh are going to go back now to a Void Spirit pickup, interestingly enough. I mean, it does a similar thing to the puck, right? You're just creating space with the rest of your team, allowing that PL to just farm up the whole game and get to the point where he feels comfortable to start joining. Still a very strong mid hero. There's not really much else to say about the Void Spirit.
Yeah, it's a straightforward pick. We haven't seen too much of it in the past few series, at least for today, but it is still potent. It's popular all across the tournament. We'll see. Arkosh has some flex. It could be a Void Spirit off if they want to pick something else mid, if the matchup doesn't favor them, but they don't have last pick, so they're not going to have that option to react to what Latam Defenders has. Still have a couple of options here as well for Arkosh if they did want to flex around. I mean, the OD is in the pool right now, so you could still run off lane OD for Gremlo if you want that. It does play nicely with Shaker, easy setup for a good fissure, and you can build off of that. So it also punishes the PA to a certain extent, but the evasion kind of makes it wonky for the OD as well. But there are not many high mana heroes here, so Santi's Eclipse can be something you play around if you do go for that last pick here for Arkosh.
Yeah, I actually don't think that's too bad here, and we know that Gremlo really enjoys playing the OD. I think it could fit quite nicely. Could have a bit of a secondary kind of carry there as well. I mean, I guess with the Meteor Hammer build-up, you're not really a core OD in some sense, but the base kit of OD is just so powerful anyway. You don't really need any items. Latam are going to think about this final ban for now. They got rid of the Enigma. Focusing in, and there you go. They banned the OD out. So no option for that for Arkosh. Anything else you'd like to play, John?
I could play the Void Spirit and they could maybe give Canis Vulpus something like a Morphling if you want to go into that, but Morphling PL sounds
Ooh.
really strange. They go to the Razor instead, so that's the response to the PA. Just static link her up when she dives in, and she's not going to do damage. A really good response for Arkosh to play with. Of course, you do sort of lack good teamfight control. I mean, you have Shaker, but that takes a blink. That takes even the Ag Short if you want to really maximize it. So the control is not as easy to get out. Whereas for Latam defenders, Tidehunter can just walk up, get the Ravage off. We've seen Valky be very patient for those Ravages. So you don't need as much to get started on that 5-man fight. And Latin defenders do pick up another natural counter for the PL. Ember Spirit comes out. So you do have a lot of options here. The control for Arkosh on the Ember is pretty decent. CM Root. If you do latch the Remnant as well, you can follow up with a Shaker stuns quite nicely.
Yep.
But Latam does have solid ways of dealing with Paleo Horse's illusion spam now. So we'll see if it's the same build up here for the Diffusal SNY into Octarine for Pale Horse. It's looking a bit better tied up for Latam defenders. They don't have as much push as they did in game 1. That's the one thing they lose with the Ember over Lesh, but they still have all the answers in terms of draft matchups here. The one thing that you may be worried about is the Razor taking too much control over Cook-a-Hook, but that's also one that's not very straightforward. Sometimes the PA, doesn't blink in, just waits for the static link first, and you can blink out and break that quite fast. So have to watch when you use that spell. For me in this game, for me, Gremlo, and should make for an interesting game too, as Arkosh is looking to tie this one out.
Thank you for that, John. That damn fly is still around me, by the way. Doing my head in this
spider that bit you. Get him to get the job done, Mike. It bit you already. It should bite this fly as well,
No, I'm afraid that spider's no longer in this world, John. Didn't want to say it on stream, but his time came.
I thought you'd bring it to your router. Build up the tenancy on your router.
I mean,
and collect, I don't know, fly rent.
They haven't been paying rent, John. I had to send a message. He went to the router, just not living anymore. That's all. Arkosh smoked up. As for this time around, it's not quite bringing Canis along. See if Crow wants to go for that same kind of ward. You don't generally do it from the Radiant side because you don't usually go up this way to snipe couriers. So they actually just want a first blood, Crow. Gonna place that ward yet? Smoke wears off now, but they can hold the high ground and be very patient and just wait for somebody to come back their way. Latam defenders might have a good idea that this is happening. Now, Arkosh come creeping in as there's a pause. And that's a very awkward time. I don't believe Latam defenders can see, as you can see by the fog of war. Arkosh are still covered. I'm not sure if they got caught by this observer ward right here, but I don't believe anyone ran this way from Arkosh. So I'm pretty sure Latam defenders still have no idea this is happening.
Yeah, they should still have the angle here. Just slightly awkward, but we'll see if Arkosh does commit hard for that level 1 kill. Not quite leveling anything on Goat yet, so could go for the slow or the root. But so far, got some good chances here.
Someone's drawing some very square stuff. I condemn pictures on map XD. Casters all chatting now as well. Why can't we all chat, John?
Yes, we can.
Can we? Uh-oh. Graham. Thank you for that, John. Do you want to explain why you typed that out, by the way? The thing before you typed in your main account?
I can't help myself. I can't help myself.
I have no idea what he's saying, John. Can you translate?
Put a cork in.
Hi to Hermana. Woman. Cook-a-Hook? Cook-a-Hook's Hermana? Mom? Is that mom or sister? It's either mom. So yeah, it's sister. Shout out to Cook-a-Hook's sister. Yasu Prima de Aretes. I have no idea what that is.
Fair enough.
Two team Cook-a-Hook. Me team Kaka-Hook. Always with the poop with Canis Vulpus. Always with Kaka.
I love the fact that Latam defenders are actually having a bit of fun with them as well. Regardless of the language barriers we're having here. It's good to see that they're both just having a good time. Some teams like to just ignore Arkosh. I don't blame those guys either, but you know, it's nice to see people getting along.
Oh, it definitely is. Okay, so it's cousin, right? And that's prima de Aretes. So saying hi to Cocohook's sister and Aretes' cousin
Okay.
for whatever reason. All right. Every Harry Potter book written. They really want to go here on Arkosh's end. Now I need to pause.
Okay.
All right. Stop it. Stop it, me. How was work today, John? Good.
Are they talking to you?
How was work?
Great. Now my co-cast is in the game typing. Amazing.
And we got Aretas out this time. So, yeah, probably saying hi to his cousin, I guess. I don't know what's up with that with Valky, but hey.
So how do you think
And
this
it's
ends
now
up, John?
quiet.
Does Arkosh make their way up the staircase, and can they get a first blood?
Well, it's awkward. Crow needs to turn around. But he has boots, so that shouldn't be too big of an issue. Let's see. Can I draw on the map? No. How do you draw on the map again? I want to start drawing some pads here. Is it Alt? Is it Control? Is it Shift? I can't. I mean, I can draw on the map, but it's not the same.
There you go.
Anyway, Crow needs to just turn around, walk with Gremlo, and get the static link off on basically Aretes. Although Moonlight's fine as well because he did get the arrow up instead of the jump.
They're talking to you,
And-
John.
Yeah, Ice Nice is like, are you casting and playing Gremlo? Gremlo! That's it. But, look, they went circular now, Mike. They're back to circles. We're back to circles. I don't know what's going on. I feel, my brain feels fried. Canis Vulpus just wants to go.
Goodness.
What is this?
I'm not sure what we're waiting on. I mean, there is a DC. Looks like Aridus is having some issues.
Yeah, it's his cousin. His cousin's around. I guess. You remember like GTA 4?
Yes.
Did you ever play that, Mike? Your cousin,
Yes.
Nico Bellic? Hey, let's go bowling! They're probably out bowling. You can't say no to Nico. You know?
Thank you, John.
What is that?
What do you mean, what is that?
They're tree circles. They do a tree piece, a tree prong thing. Now, what is this?
It's your
Yeah,
drawing,
okay,
John. It's Gremlo drawing.
Okay,
it.
I understand it now. I do not need to explain myself.
Right now, the admin's involved.
Hello, Kyle. Yes. It is Kyle today. Doogie the birthday boy is, of course, gone. Everyone's saying to defend every single objective. That is the game plan, of course, if you can. Do those things not fade if it's not
No.
on pause?
No, because we're paused, John. So both teams have found a way to annoy us even more during this pause. Fantastic.
Latam defenders need to get their game on point, though. They haven't
are
tanked
falling a bit
everything out.
behind.
They left one tower as well on the side of Latam defenders. Arkosh leaving their mid. Need to spam that a bit more.
These Arkosh guys, they are they're the worst influences, John. The worst.
They say they're like 1,000 years old, but their comedy is very juvenile. If you think about it.
Who was it that said
very
they were?
mature.
Which one was it that was 1,200 years old?
I think it's
The Crow?
supposedly Goat.
Goat,
supposed to
right? It
be
was
Goat.
Goat.
Because he wakes them up and stuff. Created Arkosh or what have you. Oh, there's the reconnect.
Excellent.
Crush on that fight use. There we go. There's the go ahead.
So do they
Turn
get
around,
the first
Crow.
blood? Look at all the pings coming out, and they. Oh, Aridus! Aridus, wake up,
Oh,
Aridus!
blocked.
Oh, he's been awakened now, John. Crow's going to chase him down along with Gremlo, and Aridus is more than likely just set to die unless he can literally just outrun them. No, he turns back around for the stroke of fate, and that is going to confirm his own death. Meanwhile, Moonlight also going down. Goat will be able to pick that one up with the Crystal Nova. It'll be a 2 for 2 on the bounty runes. Or maybe not.
Yeah.
No, it's a 4 for 0. Latam
He
defenders.
did give away 2 kills. If they
Yes.
salvage it, this is one way to kind of fix that situation, but you still gave 2 kills. That still gives them a slight net worth lead, so they do recover from that, and Arkosh not going to be too pleased. They also don't get to get a good block off, because Crow obviously wasn't around for the first creep wave. So creep wave is not going to be as shoved out as well here for Arkosh, and this is something Latam defenders can play up top. Cocohook is around in the PA with Aretes on the Grimstroke. Gremlo early on will just want to leverage that static link. Cocohook is not going to have the level in blink, so you can run him down a bit. If he had Fissure, this would be better, but Crow is just focusing on zoning out Aretes for the most part here.
Yeah, it's going to come in from the backside. Cocohook and Aridus seem to pay him no attention. Gremlo needs to really try and dominate the lane while he has the static link damage his way. You know, the Earthshaker not really going to be able to do much to help him out in this laning phase, I don't think. You can throw a Fissure out or two, but apart from that, there's not really much in the way of harassment towards Cocohook or Aridus that the Earthshaker can do. Still, we'll have a look at the other lanes where mid lane, Canis Vulpus was underneath the Dire Tier 1 tower. Doesn't really take any damage from it though. Just trying to deny creeps away from Nana. So far, a pretty even matchup between the two. I still think the Void Spirit should have an advantage just based off the heroes, but Nana really shouldn't fall too far behind either.
Now, it has to watch out for going for sleight of fists like that in front of a Remnant. Don't really dodge it, you just delay it still. This one is rather even. It's a back and forth one. I think other players as well have said it's a very mechanics-based mid, and so far both sides are keeping it even, finding their farm. We'll have to see how it develops once they get their level 4, level 5 spikes, and especially level 6. Supports will want to come in as well.
Gonna go down here, Moonlight throwing the tip over to the CM. Nice arrow there from Moonlight. Showing the kill did occur, and it's gonna leave Pale Horse alone for a while on that PL. It's like he's gonna take a bit of harassment, but he will trade it back Moonlight's way. Of course, now he does have the CM back. That Goat has been relegated to just go for a small camp pull, and a D ward for that matter, as there is no small camp to actually pull.
Yeah, it's at least going to free it up for the next minute, so they can equalize their lane stand, but already a bit of a rough time. Moonlight going to try to just get the EXP he wants as well in the large camp, which was left open. So our Mirana's getting some steady EXP because the large camp access is left alone. You do have options of maybe trying to be aggressive with a Spirit Lance, but with a CM support, I think you are looking to be slightly more passive here.
Mid lane still very even between the two. Nana just one last hit behind. Should be able to get it pretty done soon and gets a chains off on Canis. It's top lane, Gremlo. He is slowing down the farm of Cocohook. That's for sure, as Cocohook just seems to never have any damage to use. It's been very annoying on the Razor. Every time the PA does come close, he does just get hit over and over again. We'll burn through a lot of regen here as the Plasma Field even coming out on the tail end. We've got no salve on the PA, but Aridus, yeah, he has one on the Grimstroke. Hook will get a salve, and I have a feeling Aridus will be buying a lot more of those, but Crow, it's again finding a courier snipe, this time on the PA's courier.
Yeah, it's a big one to take out. Should delay some value stat items. There's a Wraith Band being queued up here for Cocohook, so it's not going to come out in a timely manner. And Gremlo can just get this done while the tower is shoved in, but has to be careful about diving too deep.
Yeah, they're going with the Inkswell. Now, he does have a lot of bonus damage, so he might just turn back around. But Cocohook is not backing off, and Gremlo is the one trying to run away. Just not confident in his ability to fight right now. Crow did come in just in case he needed it. Looks like they'll just reset in the lane. Goat. Find a courier. Very nice. Moonlight at least did get the items off the courier before it did go down. Like Moonlight's just planning to chase him down now, as even mid lane, Canis was taking a fair bit of damage. And Moonlight is going to get revenge. Gives him the tip.
Just the back and forth with the couriers. Lots of them dying so far. Still a pretty good start for Arkosh here. They are finding farm on Canis Vulpes, and Pale Horse is getting a lot more from his lane compared to what Cookahawk is getting from his own up top. So in that sense, the lanes are going well for Arkosh. They're still finding that steady farm. We will have to see what happens once they hit these power spikes. We have level 6 up in Canis Vulpes.
Aridus is dropping very low. Gremlo going to go for the chase. Looks like he is just accepting the fact that he is dead, but Cookahawk wants to keep going. He does have that evasion, but it's only level 1, still trying after Gremlo. Plasma Field, not going to be enough to slow him down. Crow might be able to get a trade, though. He is out of mana. Meanwhile, Goat dies down to the bot lane. Now, Canis Vulpes will make sure they get the kill. The nice rotation there from the Void Spirit at that level 6 mark. Crow will slowly but surely make his way out.
Yeah, it's a valuable kill in the end. You trade away the Razor, but you found the kills on the PA, you found a kill on Aretes. You're slowing down this top lane. You're slowing down the Battle Fury timing that the PA wants to hit. So you just have all the answers, and with Canis Vulpes around, you could have gone for more, but he does TP away. So you just want to maintain these lanes, keep finding farm, and keep denying farm from the side of Latam.
Crow, Fisher out onto Aranus. Cookahawk trying to go in for the Earthshaker kill, but the Static Link is going to be there, sapping away a lot of his damage. He gets the kill, but he's going to take a lot of harass out of this, and Gremlo is going to turn right back around onto Aridus, and Goat will come in and secure the kill. It looks like Canis Vulpes actually went down to Nanana over in the mid lane. Now Pale Horse trying to help out, but Nana with an Arcane Rune wants to just chase him down. Fisher is there, but chains are out onto the PL, forcing the Fairy Fire, and Crow I think it should be enough to save Pale Horse. Should be is the key word. He will eventually back off.
Yeah, they find a couple of key kills on the side of Latam to keep themselves tied up 5-5. Less than 1k lead going the way of Latam defenders now. They don't really have a way of transitioning to a great push, and that goes for both sides, although the shove up top is going a bit faster, simply because Gremlo's zoning out the side of Latam, but they're not looking to give this tower for free. They did lose their bot tier 1 here on Arkosh's end, so Latam is already a step up just on objectives at this point.
Top lane, Moonlight showing up. Could land a nice arrow, I mean the death of Gremlo or Goat, but it looks like he's actually just arrowing some creeps for now. Latam defenders, they just want to defend this top tier 1 tower. I don't think they're too worried about anything else. Gremlo is still going to try and apply that pressure. Meanwhile, Goat and Crow are going to start rotating towards the mid lane, where Nana has been caught out by Canis. A lot of damage being dealt. He does have remnants and will be forced to commit. But the Fisher could be there soon. Now he sees the Earthshaker. He's going to bottle up a DD rune, and the Fisher is not going to land either. And now Canis is in trouble. He's going to die. Goat probably not going to be safe either, as they remnant forward, and Nana will be able to set up for another. Great play there from Latam defenders, and he even wants Crow. But he doesn't see the Shaker. Won't be able to continue the chase.
Yeah, they've really built up on Nana now. Level 8 on that Ember, just running around all over the place, and gets a chain, but no follow-up. So right now, Latam defenders just looking to take that mid objective. Dropping low in Nana though, have to be careful.
Nice little arrow there, making sure the chase could not be committed, but he will go after Aridus instead, and he pops the Ink Swirl, but he understands he probably is just going to die. Or maybe not. Canis does back off, and Crow, he just got the Fisher back up. He might need it though. Nana has come back in with a remnant now and is going to chase down the Earthshaker. Meanwhile, Canis does get the Grimstroke. So eventually they get the kill. And the Ember does not have any more remnants to keep the chase up. Pale Horse. Arrow did connect. He's going to try for the TP play out, and he's going to make it. Valky had Ravage, but was not really in range to get it there in time. Very clutch play there from Pale Horse.
I'm worried about this build-up on Pale Horse now, though. He isn't too far behind in farm, but he's queuing up the Midas. I don't know about that. We've seen this a couple of times in the PLs, and it hasn't really paid off unless the game goes really long. That does even out your farm, but this means there's no early presence from Pale Horse. He's not going to be able to join the fights. He's just going to sit back and farm, and it's up to the rest of Arkosh to enable this greedy play from Pale Horse.
I'm not sure if I agree with that decision either, John. Definitely, obviously he's trying to catch up with that Midas, but it just never seems to work out whenever we're casting, at least. Nana, chase down Canis Focus. Inkswell is there, but the Simulate will allow him to get out. The chase still continues, though, and they get the silence now, and even Cookahawk is set to join on the PA, and they have the control to kill off Canis once again. I think they really want to go after that mid-tier 1 tower here, Latam. They are making their way back in towards that area as Moonlight was popped by Moonlight. Just keeping tabs on Goat. Pale Horse is going to rush in now. He's going to really be able to get much damage off. Moonlight does buy enough time so the rest of his team can just get that tier 1 tower down.
Yeah, it's an important objective for Latam to find. They do manage to secure it so they can take over that bot jungle. Already have a nice ward in place. They're going to have to reward if they want to maintain that control. But I love this build up here as well on Valkyrie. Going for the Meteor Hammer on the Tide. They needed a way to push. Meteor Hammer allows them to clear out waves and get that objective damage done quickly. So just a lot of value already for this early pickup on Valkyrie. It doesn't feel like they need Ravage at all. Like, it's not necessary to take these engagements so far.
Was that the Ice build? Never mind that. Bot lane, Aridus. Probably going to go down as Canis does connect with the Aether Remnant, but Moonlight's going to jump in and try to at least kill off Goat. They have Cookahawk and Valky there. Ravage is also up, but they don't have the mana for it. But Canis is stuck anyway. He doesn't have any steps. But they don't know he's there. They just leave him.
A bit awkward missing out on that kill. You're still happy finding the pick off on CM though. That kill going to Cookahawk helps accelerate this farm towards the Battle Fury. Cookahawk is still lagging behind even Pale Horse. So the PA needs everything it can get to play catch-up. The Midas now for Pale Horse is done. So you can start kicking his farm into overdrive. I think the key here is he's trying to match the PA's farm. So he's expecting the Battle Fury. He doesn't want to lag behind in terms of itemization. The Midas will allow RPL to sort of have that same scaling, at least in terms of hitting those spikes as a PA. So just trying to play the long game here. They are very close to hitting some other item spikes on Arkosh's, and Crow is very close to the Blink. And once you have that in the Shaker, the Echo Slams are going to be easier to pull off if you catch Latam defenders out in an awkward spot.
Bot lane, Canis. His way out of this one. Has two-step charges. He's going to commit one and the other, but he may be caught here. The arrow is available, and they get the chains anyway. That'll lock him down. It's already looking like a very tough game for the Void Spirit. Well, top lane, they even found Pale Horse. And that is an even better target to get. Valky, he'll get a tip off his POS 1.
Yeah, you had to pop Ravage for that kill on the PL, but it's worthwhile. You managed to immediately punish the PL, and that does give Latam defenders now a big lead. 3k up at 13 minutes in, 7-11. And just look at Valky, just shoving out the waves by himself. There's nothing to stop him. They need to drag the heroes up. They are smoked.
Still over there. They've got the plasma field as well. Valky gonna try for the TP, not realizing Crow was around. Crow actually has a very nice blink timing. I mean, the death of Valky now. So a nice little kind of revenge kill. Rest of Latam defenders are still across the map, just forcing that bot wave, forcing in the mid wave. Gremlo's going to TP down to address the bottom wave. Chase down Nana for a bit, but he's just going to TP right out. Now in the mid lane, bit of a group up here onto Aridus. They get the Fisher. Arrow not going to land from Moonlight, and that'll be a nice dead Grimstroke. Goat once again on the Crystal Maiden, the one to take the kill. But now, Nana's going to jump in on the Ember. Canis is going to be chased up. He has no steps available, so it's a bit of an awkward moment, but the Echo does come in. Crow landing it perfectly with the neutral camp and making sure his Void Spirit does survive. Moonlight now just out of mana, has enough for the leap. Looks like it will prove to be enough, as the Aether Remnant won't land in time.
Just constant back and forth, killing off Nana is really big for the side of Arkosh, and they left behind a dug up bounty rune as well, just for the bottle refill. So lots of efficiency coming out here from Arkosh, punishing Latam defenders this time around. They are really buying space out for Pale Horse now, and the key thing for Latam is to be cautious about taking fights without Ravage. If Valky does not have Ravage, he's not looking to join these bigger engagements, and that's where Arkosh can start to shine with his blink on Crow. They can just go in, find a single target pickoff, they've got the follow-up, they've got the mobility now, and they've even got these travels up on Gremlo, so I can get around the map much quicker and join in these fights as need be. So the response is there from Arkosh. They even out the game just a bit more. Latam defenders still need some time for the PA to get into the Battle Fury.
Sean not gonna land. Rush is there, Ravage out as well. They've got the Razor under control. Static Link was going, but Gremlo is set to die and does. To Canis Vulpus they go now. Got 2 step charges though, he's gonna be just fine. Pro. Chant Totem, Crystal Nova, Freezing Field. It's a lot of damage out on Eridus. Nana's gonna come in, however. They are still gonna be able to trade. And it still just seems to favor Latam defenders now as they go into the mid-tier 2 with the Meteor Hammer, even finding out Crow. With the chains out, he's locked in and he's gone down. Another kill for the dire end of things. That tier 2 mid is getting quite low now in terms of HP.
Not quite as slow now.
It's just under so much pressure, and Latam defenders are using their spikes really nicely. They stall out long enough that Cookahawk does have the Battle Fury, so the PA can just focus in even more on farming, although...
Valky's being chased up. Moonlight there with the Yules. Arrow. Gonna land. Gremlo now, gonna go back onto Aridus. He is trying to hide, but the dust was there on the Razor. Gremlo gets away. In fact, he keeps chasing, but he's gonna get punished for it. Well, don't say what, John. That was you. What are you doing?
Why did I do that? Oh, still Valky.
Fisher not really gonna land, but they still get the kill on the Tide. They do get a couple kills back their way. Not too bad here from Arkosh.
You know what it is, Mike? It's
Yes?
the cat litter. It's the cat litter. I'm just, I'm not feeling it. I told you, my bag ran out. So I make these dumb moves like running down mid against the Ember. But at least we find a counter kill. Nana still not going to be too displeased. Tide doesn't have Ravage anyway, so they're not missing out on opportunities. With the Tide Hunter down, they are still buying time for the PA. Desolator now going to be coming up next here for Cookahawk. And once you've got that, you can melt through a lot of these heroes. I wonder what the pause is for Arkosh, but looks like they need a bit of a break as well.
Why the hell not? How's Pale Horse going? I mean, he's got the Diffusal Blade. This farm is actually going really well in terms of net worth. Especially when you compare it to Cookahawk. But with that Battle Fury, he might be able to overtake the PL in just a few moments. Is deciding to go for the Deso pickup first, so not feeling like he's been pressured enough to force him to buy a quick BKB. Which is pretty fair, because he has been off the map for a long time without any pressure.
I'm still curious about what Pale Horse goes for next. Maybe still the SNY, but I think you might want to try to fit in that MKB here for Pale Horse at some point. Maybe a 4th-item pickup, if not sooner rather than later. You could still try to go for the Agshard Octarine. I just feel like the PA is a really good response to that already. She'll eat through the illusions. She's got evasion to tank up. You're not going to be able to hit her most of the time once that is maxed out in Blur. So you're going to have a rough time just trying to melt her mana before she can jump in and try to crit off you.
Off lane, Valky going to be around to defend. Trying to gush onto Canis Vulpus. Crow is going to come in. They're looking for a Fisher block. Does get one. They are going straight for Valky, but now their hope is coming in. Valky is still alive and now has Ravage up. He commits. Pale Horse cancels his own TP. Trying to run. Meteor Hammer's not going to land, but they have the control on the PL. They'll get him. They'll get Goat as well on the CM. Canis will just TP right in front of everyone. But they got the big target. And that's all they really wanted.
It's a huge win for Latam defenders. Good bait forward. Nice smoke wraparound from the behind. They did have wards, but it could not spot it out. So just very great game awareness here from Latam defenders. Allows them to shove in the top tier 1, trying to clear out all the soft objectives off the map. And once you lose that top tier 1, you have complete control over most of the map now. You do see a bit of a shove coming out from Canis Vulpus, but can't really solo push by himself that fast.
Cro's waiting in the backside of this team fight. Ready with a big echo. Goat's just going to get deleted by Cookahawk. Meaty Hammer again. Crow trying to get close. He's going to need a bit more help than just Gremlo, and it looks like Gremlo has called this gank off. The Radiant jungle meanwhile. Canis Vulpus. Seals off into the Aether Remnant. Moonlight Shadow has been popped. Nana might still be safe. He throws out the chains. Sleight of Fist as well. Arrow does connect. Star 4, but there's your Echo Crow. We'll make sure they get the kill. Gets another. Very nice. Ember worth a lot of gold there. Let's go to the way of the Razor.
Yeah, it's a good set of pickups for Arkosh. Again, keeping it as even as possible. They still are lagging behind by 3k, and you do see Cookahawk pull ahead of that PL. So it's the point where Midas Farm is trying to keep up with Battle Fury Farm, and it doesn't quite line up. You do see a change in the build-up here for Pale Horse, so he is going for the Mantis style next. So not the SNY, not the Aether Lens into Octarine. It is the more traditional PL build, and I think the game does call for that, because you need to fit in the right clicks here.
It's fair.
Gremlo chasing Valky.
Not the Valky. Fisher is going to block Valky in. He's going to try and stay on the high ground now with the Meteor Hammer to be charged up. Goat has been left alone. They can't actually get through the Tidehunter HP. Just too tanky. Now Nana's here to just follow up. Kane is still around, has one step charge, we'll have 2 in a second. He's going to try and get some damage out onto this Ember. The Fisher from Crow will put a stop to everything. But no, Ravage is there. They didn't react fast enough into the Meteor Hammer. It's going to drop onto Crow. Kane is still trying to help fight this one out. Crow is set to die. And Canis is a bit of a sitting duck right now. If they can find him. He's going to turn back around, back onto Valky. Gremlo trying to fight. Cookahawk meanwhile killing off Pale Horse on the other side of the map. And is now coming in to help out with this fight as Canis is still going along with Gremlo. Nana is still fighting as well. The help is on the way. Very slowly, but surely. Moonlight. Oh, don't want to walk that way. Freezing Field expended immediately by Code. He'll use up, but he's got no leap charges. So a bit of a mistake there from Moonlight. That means he's going to die. And ultimately Arkosh. It's not too bad of a fight, but the problem is they did end up losing Pale Horse on the other side of the map.
Yeah, that's not good news. You need the PL to try and keep up. The gap between the PL and the PA is just going to grow wider and wider as the Battle Fury farm starts to rack up. Cookahawk, though, is very strong right now. Desolator up, and the PL just kind of gets ripped apart once it does get focused down, especially if you get a couple of crits off. So have to be cautious with Pale Horse when it comes to the core versus core matchup. Right now, it's not going to look good. You don't have a way of hitting that PL enough to get your damage off. And Cookahawk is also saving for the BKB, although.
Kane is silenced up. Valky, no Ravage. Gonna get used anyway. So Pale Horse is still going for the shard. Are we seeing another Octarine after this match style?
Yeah. Likely is. Like, in fact, I don't think he's going to finish the Mantis Cell at this point. He's just going to rush the Shard. He's going to go Shard, Octarine. He skips it. Just stays on the Yasha. I think you might want to value change that to the Sanj and Yasha, just for the added stat resist. That is going to leave an opening. I'm not sure how effective it will be against the PA, as again, you won't get hits in. But the Roche is being rushed here by Latam defenders. They do pull out in the end as they see the scan, but Arkosh isn't actually in a good spot to contest yet.
Roshan definitely going to be finished up very soon. They have found Moonlight instead, so they do end up at least getting the Mirana kill. But this Roshan is just set to go down. Cookahawk will take it. He won't mind the Moonlight Death.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
It's like Latam defenders, even without their Mirana, wouldn't mind taking a fight. They do have Ravage and their PA does feel quite strong. You could wait for Kukulhook to have the BKB up, but I don't really think he needs it right now. Just seems like he can do whatever he wants in a team fight.
They don't have enough control. Like, they've got to choose who they root up, who they control up, either the Ember or the PA. And I think for the most part, they'd want to get that control onto Nana. They are just going to have to refocus in. Alright, it does look like Pale Horse will go Manta. So he gets a shard, but goes into the Manta as well. We'll see if it's still the Octarine build. I don't think you go for the Octarine. Maybe you just keep that shard, but the Octarine definitely can't slot in. You need right-click this game.
Arkosh smoked up. It's going to break on the low ground, though. Nice Ravage there from Valky, holding down Gremlo. He'll pop his own BKB. Good shot. Catch out the Mirana. And the Ravage doesn't really lead to anything. He just, I guess there wasn't really enough follow-up after the BKB was popped. That'll pretty much be it.
Yeah, you trade Ravage for a BKB. Not the worst, but also not ideal. Now you have to wait for the next Ravage. 2 minutes until that's up. Still, they could get that push down bot. They will trade Moonlight away again.
Yeah, and Canis, he wants to go for more now. Getting the Yules up onto Aridus. They'll get the Grimstroke as well. Support duo down. Go taking another kill on the Crystal Maiden. More time for Arkosh. They just keep going. Back to farming.
Yeah, they're trying to chase Nana.
Oh, he hasn't got enough mana for Remnants. He has to BKB TP out of there. They do force the BKB, and that was the 10-second charge for Nana. That's going to feel a bit bad.
Yeah, it's you're trading out these initial BKB timers just to get home for both sides. So overall, I think, you know, it kind of evens out because everyone's been popping their BKBs. It's not the worst. What's an issue now for Latam defenders is the fact that Arkosh is back at the net worth lead. So Pale Horse is finding good amount for him. Gremlo and Canis Volpus are getting good distribution. Issue for Latam defenders is Valky.
Freezing Field is really nice, actually, but they do get the kill. Would love to see a bit of follow-up there. They actually had the Echo, but they didn't have the mana for it. Pro may have actually committed for the Echo had he had the mana. Now Kane is going to be chased up. Use this last step charge, and they are going to jump in to try and chase him down. Arrow is going to connect with the Meteor Hammer follow-up. That'll be a dead Void Spirit. Very nice here for Kukulhook. And he's even got a regen rune there if he wants, but it looks like the Ember is going to go ahead and bottle that up. I suppose they could go back into that mid-tier 2 now.
Yes.
Yeah, they can try to get that shove in. They've got the Meteor Hammer to keep it stable. The Desolator should help speed this up. You do see Gremlo trying to split push the bot lane a bit more just to get a bit of a trade going and force a response. And he does force a TP out, but it's not really necessary to have Nana around anyway. He should be able to get himself back to the fight if he wants to. The side of Latam defenders, I mean, with this kind of even game, probably don't feel too threatened. Like, yeah, they drop a couple of fights, but their PA is really strong. They've got Aegis for another minute 15. They could look to go for more tier 2s.
Pale Horse, you do not want to go up there. Ravage actually going to be juked out. Still, he's been caught. Soulbind going to hold him down. He's gone. Crow trying to run away. Probably isn't going to make it, though. Or maybe he will. Gremlo forcing them back. Kukulhook now going to go for the fight. Gremlo popping the BKB. And they'll go on to Goat instead, but there's not much damage on this PA now. He's losing 202 damage. He'll jump back in on the Razor. Now a big echo there from Crow to hold them back a little bit, and Kukulhook is starting to drop low, but he does have the Aegis. They'll get Valky at least, but Gremlo now set to fall and does. Kane is trying to run. Remnant to follow up. They are going to catch him out. The chains are there. He needs about 7 seconds for that Astral Step to be back up. And he's probably not going to have enough time, or maybe 1 more second. No. He dies mid-animation. It's another team fight going to the way of Latam defenders.
Yeah, they just managed to make it work their way. They did pop Ravage, but doesn't matter when you find all the rest of these kills. It looked like a good turnaround with a slam, but not quite enough. I think that reset on the Aegis actually gave Cocohook what he wanted. If they focused on everyone else first, left the PA for last, that might have been a different story. So maybe reconsider their targeting here on Arkosh's end. Latam defenders do retake that lead at 2K. They're going to set their eyes to that bot tower. There's a double damage rune sitting in Cocohook's bottle right now, or borrowed bottle. And once you pop that on, not many heroes will live. There's even a Basher as well on the PA. So you toss a Lucky Dagger out, you get controlled, you find a burst.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And the defenders, tier 2 bottom tower gone.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Surprising how much damage the PA was doing even with all that stolen damage. It seemed like he had none left, but when he was critting, there was still damage being pumped out. Gonna be a bit of a worrying sign here for Arkosh. You're kind of relying on that static link to dissuade the PA from jumping into these team fights.
Yeah, it's not quite doing enough. I think once you pop that BKB and break the link, as long as you're not completely in the red, you're fine, although...
Pale Horse, oh, they're going to run right into him, but he has a sentry. He knows they're coming. He'll doppel away. The Inkswell is there with the Soulbind down, and he's caught. Maybe just not reacting quite fast enough. Without their PL, they cannot take this team fight. Arkosh is going to find a way out of this situation.
Yeah, the build up again for Pale Horse, I'm taking a look, is the Octarine. So Manta, Diffusal, Midas, Octarine build up. It's going to take a while for that one to pop up in this game. Although...
They found another. Canis. Aridus going at it. Dissimulate is there, but he does dissimulate away. Arkosh doing standard Arkosh things, just trying to split push the other lanes and force back Latam defenders. Buy themselves some more time. Latam defenders not really caring about all that. Trying to hunt down Canis. One step charge there. That's all he had. Meanwhile, to the right side, Cocohook started onto Gremlo. My god, that's a lot of damage. Just crits him down with the double damage rune, and now it's straight onto Canis Vulpus. And even Valky finding out Goat on the Crystal Maiden. Crow will save the day, though, at least for Canis, with the Fisher. But things are looking pretty darn bad for Arkosh as the game goes on. And to make matters worse, John, Cocohook found an Orb of Destruction now. So it doesn't get much easier.
No. 1.4k crits on Heatwave and Ravage.
Yeah, top lane only connecting on Crow. Meteor Hammer is actually going to land. He kind of ran right back into it. And they've also found Canis. Sans is there. He has the Lotus. It's not going to help, and he's going to dissimulate. Still going to die. The dagger ends up critting him. Very unfortunate there for Canis Vulpus, but that looks like one lane of racks to me, John. I don't see any buybacks on Arkosh.
No, they could try to fight us 4 while Canis Vulpus is down, but you're not going to find follow-up there from the Echo Slam, and it's just tricky. Like, the damage output of our PL, it's not amazing. Taylor is just going to focus on trying to shove the bot wave instead.
Oh, jump
and
in.
Cocohook jumps.
Straight onto Gremlo. He pops his BKB and starts a static link, but Cocohook does not care. Remnanted now by Nana, going after the CM, but he may have gone a bit too far in. Arrows to fly out. One does land on the Crystal Maiden. Still going after Gremlo, but this Ember is falling low, but not low enough. He gets right out of there. Fisher, out from Crow, still not enough. The Echo also being dodged out.
No.
Nana just stalling on Arkosh.
Women and children and
My goodness,
Oh,
just
no,
not letting them
Arkosh.
hit him at all.
Yeah, they good to go back in. That lane of racks we talked about, definitely gone now. No slam. We do have the freezing field, but I don't think Goat can get himself in a good spot.
Crow in danger, trying to go Scepter to survive, but it is not going to help. Another crit. Kane is going to jump in after Cocohook, but he'll blink strike away. They'll go on to Valky instead. Do they have the damage? I just don't think they do. Again, Cocohook right back in, gets the bash onto Canis and gets the kill, and that means the Pale Horse is the only one left, and Cocohook is still trying to get him. He's out of mana now, though, on this PA, and might need to start retreating. They do get that top racks, and it looks like that's going to be about enough. Not for Arkosh, though. They come back in with a Fissure and the shards. I don't think there's going to be enough damage with just the PL. They smoke up and run. Valky doesn't have that luxury. He's going to try and TP. Won't make it out. Now Gremlo is going to catch out Aridus. He's currently in Fizz, but it won't matter. Will eventually die. Pro's trying to catch out Nana. Let's get the Fissure. Not going to be enough. Does just remnant away. Pro's still trying, however. Has another Fissure up in a second. Nana. Chains out. Going to go back onto Gremlo with the BKB. They kill him off. Cookahawk joins him now. Back on a Pale Horse. That's the target they want. And it looks like they might just find him. Cookahawk just critting him to death. Crow on the run. Might make it out. I can't say the same for Goat. He's gone. Very unfortunate stuff here for Arkosh Gaming.
Oh, yeah, and it gives a lot now to Latam defenders. 25 to 39, suddenly a 15k lead here for the Dire side. Win probability as well has swung their entire way, Mike. 96% their way, and they time it into the Roche. Spawns up, they get to go into it, and this is going to be a very hard Roche to fight into for Arkosh. Ravage is going to be back up on her tide when he respawns, so the high ground is going to be opened up again for a big team fight. You do have the slam to play with here on Crow. You've got some options for the defense at the least in this next fight. But it's going to be a difficult one going into Aegis and Cheese.
That it will be. Cookahawk even has the Ags up, looking for the Divine Rapier on the PA now.
Deceptive rune of invisibility.
That mid lane they go. These Pale Horse does have buyback gold this time. Maybe a hammer. Goad. They get some wards down. May have been a bit obvious. I think Moonlight with the arrow may have scattered that CM out. So a very patient kind of siege here from Latam defenders. Is in. Tier 3 tower is starting to drop quite quick. Try and slow this down. And they are getting this PA quite low. In fact, the 4-star plays dragging him right into the Tier 4 towers. They get the kill, but Nana, he's going to dive in by himself with those Tier 4s. Going after Goat, the CM. Just can't survive the damage. She'll try to go for the freezing field, and it's actually going to help a little bit. The Ravage will come out in time, but Valky is going to die. Now the buyback from Goat. They want to try and make a chase here and try to win this team fight. You've got to be careful of Cookahawk though, because he's going to jump right back in and get a nice kill. The dagger's flying out. Kane is some silence up as well. They get Goat a second time. That'll be a dieback on the CM. Pale Horse also dying on the PL. Canis trying to kill off the Ember. Nana still not dead. Still alive, running away. Pale with the lance is going to be enough. So they have 2 down. Aridus. These Lancers going to follow him down and get the kill, but now Kane is right back in after Crow. Wants the Earthshaker. Aether Remnant going to lock him in. Cookahawk, do you keep going? It looks like the answer is yes. He crits the ES down. Now onto Canis Vulpus, wanting the Void Spirit. Can he find him? He might just be able to, but he's out of mana. He is completely out of mana here on this PA. He might just have to try and man-fight this now. I don't think he has any way out. And he's gone. Canis Vulpus does get the kill with the Assimilate onto Moonlight now. Moonlight's going to try and run, but he is also quite low on mana. It looks like he has no way out. They will drain the rest of it. And that's a full team wipe.
Back and forth fight for Latam defenders. Arkosh Gaming finds the Angleton coming back in, and they do get a huge bounce of gold there. They hold on to their high ground for just a bit longer, and they get to maybe play catch up a little bit more as well. So all things considered, not too bad for Arkosh. I'd say that's the best situation they could have hoped for. Latam defenders need to take a step back, refresh, wait for the Ravage to be back up here on Valky. Maybe have to be cautious about lining up that Divine Rapier as well, although...
There it is. Caught out here by Canis. He's going to lock him in, simulate some damage, and that'll be a nice easy Grimstroke kill. The tier 2 mid tower they go now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But they're not really going to be stopped. Gremlo is just able to hit away for free.
I think you don't want to risk fighting outside right now while the rest of your heroes are still down. You could get picked off. You could lose additional heroes. It's enough space for Pale Horse to finish this build though. Octarine is up. He has a casual Ghost Scepter to ensure that he doesn't get critted out if he does get jumped in. So you have some answers now on the PL. You also have the level 25 talent. So you've got Doppel spam along with Spirit Land spam. And that can be hard to keep a track of. So there should be some utility coming out now from this PL.
Should be. I mean, the mana drain is pretty darn good. We've seen how potent it is. If you can just drain everyone's mana, they're kind of just stuck like sitting ducks, and you can just keep poking away. Ole Nana, he's going to show up. Pale Horse is going to be there to defend. Show himself on the Ember. Merge is there, and a lot of mana being... That's actually a lot of damage with just illusions out.
Dire's top tower is under
Oh, he has the cape as well. So he's got the Ag Shard for his Spirit Land solutions, then he's got the Illusionist Cape. And that passive just makes his illusions hit that punch harder. Such a value neutral for something like the PL. Latam defenders, they might actually just wait for the next Roche, and we won't see that for at least 2.5 minutes. So we're not going to see the timing for it anytime soon. They are still farming a bit efficient here. You can see Coco Hook has switched away from the Divine into the Nullifier to deal with those Ghost Scepters on hand from Arkosh's end, and should have the goal to finish it up soon. That should be another launching pad for Latam to find better trades in these fights and prevent the durability of Arkosh from shining true.
What do you think Pale Horse goes for now? Like, he's done, right? But you want to replace the Midas. You might even get to the point where you just replace the treads. Do you bother making an Ethereal Blade for the Ghost Scepter? Is he just going to keep it like that?
There's some value in the E-Blade. Once the BKB wears off in PA, and it is just 6 seconds now, going to 5. You can't just constantly disarm her. That is one way to get that done. I think maybe a heart, just to get some EHP up, try to tank through, because once the PA does start to hammer through with this Nullifier, and you're going to be in a spot of trouble. So E-Blade it is then. Never mind. There you go. Just the, I guess it's stats, and the disarm down the line. The nuke ability is nice. So we'll see if it pays off for Pale Horse.
Find out soon. Top lane, Gremlo, BKB TP away. Hook could not get in range to try for some bash hits. Don't forget, he does have the Abyssal Blade as well, so the lockdown is going to be very nice here from this PA. The Gleipnir up on Nanana. Try and lock down Pale Horse. Oh. They found Goat. CCM, you go right after it. He is going to be a bit surrounded. He's going to be forced to pop his BKB and back off, but an arrow now connecting on the CM. But now they've got Moonlight. The Mirana. Out of position, does get caught out by Arkosh. An immediate
they don't
smoke.
even manage to find it.
They're in a 4v5 now. They feel like they've got the advantage. An Aether Remnant to lock down the Ember, and he doesn't have a BKB available. Can they stun him up long enough? Crow, get in there with the Echo. The Frostbite also, but Nana is still out. It's going to be fine. Instead, they'll go after the Grimstroke, and they will kill off Eridus. And now Valky. Fisher is there by Crow to lock him down. We've seen this story before. XD's coming up from Canis Vulpus. And Valky will eventually go down.
Oh boy. This reminds me of game 1 a bit, Mike. Arkosh managed to find a lot of kills. They were behind by net worth for a long time, but those kills did enable them to start finding bigger plays on the map. Roshan respawns as well, and that's got a refresh shard. That's going to be very big for Crow if he wants it, and they are just going to go in. This is a bit slower to PL. You don't have the same kind of damage as the PA does, but Latam defenders cannot come in. They don't have buyback in the Tide. Valky's not going to be around for the Ravage. They could try to steal with the Ember. Nana could maybe look, but I don't know if he's going to make it in time.
What have they done? Roshan slowly but surely going to drop. Lab defenders, they bring the courier in. They might get something out of that, but I believe it was bursted down immediately. Valky got nothing with the courier. Indeed, Refresher Shard is going to be on Crow as well. So you do have that double echo, and that is really game-changing. Dota Plus is starting to change its mind, John. It was very close to 100%. Slowly but surely starting to make its way back up.
That it is. It's a back and forth one, but Arkosh, they found an opening. They're grabbing it by the reins. Interesting to see Pale Horse is going for the Lincolns as well, just to ensure that he doesn't get abyssalled up. So another way of ensuring he doesn't get controlled up there, or even blocking the Gleipnir off. You are seeing our PA still trying to finish that nullifier, holding on for the buyback gold. That's going to be a while until you're in a comfy spot for Coco to finish
they've
it up.
got Nana.
Oh.
Oh, it's not going to be there in time.
Ooh.
Bit late on that one. Hook's got enough gold for the nullifier now. Might just go ahead and pick up that Sacred Relic.
I think he might want to hold for buyback, but could also buy out and hope for a win. No buyback though with this buyout, so Hook has to be careful. They're going into the Aegis, they're going into the Cheese, they're going into the Refresh. There's a Octarine now on Crow as well. The cooldowns are a lot lower.
Yes, they are. Octarines all over the place for Arkosh. They're getting ready for that defense. Very late Aghanim Scepter now on Canis Vulpus. They have jumped in onto Gremlo, trying to survive. He's going to be able to run away with that BKB, but now Canis has been caught out. He has an Aeon Disc, however. That will save him for now. Going to give him the chance to get out of there.
That is costly. Valky pop Ravage, they don't find anything. That's downtime for them where they don't get to get anything done. The bot wave just naturally shoves in with two siege creeps and 2 range creeps and a hell lot of melee creeps. So you get some free gold, free control out for Arkosh's end. And suddenly the game is not as clear cut. Like, they are 1 racks down on Arkosh. They are 11k down in gold, but at this point, oh. Alright, this.
Catch out the Grimstroke, he's gonna die. Is this really a repeat of game 1, but it's the other way around? Is that what we're about to see?
Does look like it. Could look at the high ground. They are gonna go.
Alright, they'll give it a crack. They do have buyback on Aridus. Ziff will be forced. Arkosh still with the Aegis, might feel confident to keep going. Arrow barely gonna miss there on Pale Horse. Not being caught out, Canis jumps in with the Sards. They might be able to blow him up in time. He's very low on Crow. Does get in there with the Echo and ensure they get the kill, but now Hook does return the favor. Buybacks are out from Latam defenders. They want to keep going, and another crit to come out. Hook just ripping him to shreds.
They don't have buybacks.
Oh, not again.
No.
Pale Horse. Tell me he has a buyback. He does.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Oh.
Pale Horse.
Oh.
Gonna try and fight. He's gone though.
Oh, goodness me, Arkosh. They overstay their welcome on the high ground. Hook just pierces through and crits them down. Now they're gonna have to buy back. They need to make the hold of the century here with 2 heroes up against 5 and prevent anything more from being lost. Or at least prevent Megas with that bot lane and prevent the Ancient from getting down.
Yeah, Arkosh, John, they've got those paper hands. Latam defenders with the diamond hands, just always having that buyback ready to go.
Oh,
Mid-racks dropping very low. Still, a lot of damage being dealt out. That Ethereal Blade and Gremlo going to try and move in. They have bought enough time for the CM to spawn back up. You've almost got your Shaker there as well. It looks like Arkosh are once again going to successfully hold this high ground. They make it happen.
they did force the buyback from Pale Horse, so at least they get that tool out of the way, but they did have to buy back in their own heroes as well, so they're going to be down a couple. That does mean we might be waiting for the next Roche now for both sides before we start seeing big commitment coming out. And that Roche is still going to be 3 minutes away at the minimum, so we'll have to find out what it is. Cookahawk is going for the Divine. They're just going all in on the burst play. Has the Fan of Knives on top of the Blur cooldown as well on the Ags upgrade. So starting to get fully slotted up on the PA, especially once the Divine is out, that's done. And there's not going to be room to grow. We'll see if that Divine pays off, or if he does get locked in. It can go so back and forth. We've seen heroes on Arkosh melt. We've seen heroes on Latam defenders melt. There is a smoke, though.
There he is. It's going to be on the front lines. Never mind, Gremlo has found his target. It's going to be Moonlight. Leap away, Yule's up on Gremlo. He's out of leap charge. He's going to try for the TP, but an 8th remnant there from Canis. Gonna catch him out. Very, very nice. Now even Valky being caught. Aerial Blade again. Out for Pale Horse. 8th remnant to lock him down. Nana moving in, trying to go straight after Gremlo and Cookahawk now. Double Abyssal Blade is out with the nullifiers. It's still not going to be enough, but now the Ravage is there, holding everybody down. And Nana going straight after Canis, but it's not going to be enough yet. Now it is, the remnant flying through. Pale Horse going to turn around onto the Ember. Ethereal Blade, more lances. Gremlo actually killing off Aridus. Does eventually die to the same hero.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
Pale
Pro
Horse!
holding down Cookahawk. Pale Horse dying as well. Gremlo, the only one left in this team fight. Cookahawk not afraid of the Razor. He's going to try and jump back in on this. More buybacks being expended now. But Gremlo's gone. That's 2 diebacks there. It's up to the supports to hold the high ground of Arkosh.
They don't have Slam. They don't have a Refresh Shard anymore. It's going to be a very hard hold in the high ground, and the Divine is up from Cookahawk. So here we go. Let's see how big Cookahawk can crit. That should be one-shots on CM, at the very least.
I think even on the Earthshake, it's a one-shot.
Yeah, it should be. Get those crits, come on.
Moonlight really wanting those kills. No GG call here from Arkosh. They'll go after the tier 4 towers. Remnants forward. Keep him in the fountain. We might see a fountain dive here from Cookahawk if he really feels a bit feisty. Second tier 4 down. He'll go after the Ancient. Canis is up in about 7 seconds. Nana gonna be careful to die, and Pale Horse just calls it. GG is called. Ancient is too low. There's the Echo Slam. But it's all over. Latam defenders do manage the 2-0 victory. Kaka Hook is the call from Aridus. There we go.
Oh, man. What a game again from Latam defenders and Arkosh. Going back and forth once more. I want you to look at the graph, Mike. Look at how spiky that is. There was a moment there where Arkosh bounced back in, but then it went all the way from a couple of mistaken fights. Latam defenders, they did have the lead for the long time. Cookahawk just farmed like a madman. They had the answers for the PL once more. And Pale Horse, I don't know about this anymore, man. He keeps going back to it no matter what. He could not deal with the PA at the end, and that just costed him. So, well played from Latam defenders to find a series win. Arkosh, I don't know if I know if I can tell Pale Horse this, but I don't know about the Octarine every game. You know, every game, first pick PL, first phase, and every game Octarine as well. It's a bit much, man. It's a bit much.
Well, maybe, you're part of the team, John. You could talk to him.
No one listens to me, Mike.
No, fair enough, John. I wouldn't either. We'll leave it at that, though. That is it for the day. No more games on today, unfortunately, but Well, we won't even be back tomorrow, John. We're going to have, I did double check, Party Pete's going to be casting. So that's pretty pog. Party Pete going to be back to cast the BTS Pro Series Season 5 for, I believe, the rest of the group stage. So enjoy his casting. And with that, John, that's enough for us. It's MLP Dota and johnxfire. We'll see you all in the playoffs, is I believe when we're coming back. We'll find out later on, but I'm pretty sure we'll be back during the playoffs. See you all then.